let's say I have a couple files and I downloaded them and I want to put them into their own directory. So watch what I can do here. I have a command called take here. I can give the name of a new directory, like I could call this Holly, and then I can grab the two PDF files, Holly asterisk.pdf here. All right, now watch what happens on the right-hand side here. One single command. Those two files are swept away under the rug of a new directory. And over on the left here, you can see I'm sitting inside of that new directory now. So at the command line here, I could now start working with those files. So I set up a take command to do this. For a while now, I've had a take command that will create a new directory here, like foo, for example. Watch on the right here. You can see I'll create that new directory. So on the right, there's the foo directory, and it also CD'd me into it. And so now what I added was the ability to pass a list of files after that to also move those files into that directory. If you'd like to see this here, I've got this take function set up here inside of Fish Shell. You could modify it for other shells. I took this from somebody else, I believe, that had it inside of a Z shell library of helpers, and it was called take because it would make a directory as well as change into it. Now, I don't know why it's called take, but I like the name, so I kept it. And yeah, you can see here, I'm essentially taking in a list of arguments. I must have at least one argument, which will be the name of a directory to create. I don't have to pass files, that's optional. And then after I do that, I go ahead and make sure that directory exists. Next up, I take a look at the list of potential files here, essentially the second argument thereafter. Those will be treated as files to move. If there are 0 files here, if that list is empty, then go ahead and just change into the directory, the new directory, and then bail out here. Whereas if there are files, then of course, you just call the move command and then CD into that directory at the very end. Now, to be honest, I don't want a ton of new commands like this, but for the few commands and the few actions that I perform frequently, I like to just roll them up so I don't have to run 3 different commands in this case to get to the final destination, especially if this is something I find myself doing maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Definitely worth the time to add and then get in the habit of using.